Hello everyone, and welcome to my BTG official channel. The night was unnervingly quiet, too quiet for Dani's liking. The large mansion, usually filled with the low hum of music or Bill's laughter, was now cloaked in an eerie stillness. Even the air felt heavy, thick with something unseen yet deeply unsettling. For days now, Dani had noticed something was off. Bill had been growing weaker, paler, and more irritable. At first, everyone thought it was just stress from work or exhaustion from dealing with Hayley's recent outbursts. But Dani, ever observant and suspicious by nature, sensed something far darker lurking beneath the surface. It all began a week ago when Bill complained that every time he ate dinner, he felt dizzy and nauseous. Hayley would rush to his side, feigning concern, holding his hand, stroking his hair, whispering in that overly sweet tone that always made Dani's skin crawl. "You probably just need rest," Hayley would say. "Don't worry, darling, I'll take care of you." But Dani had seen it, the faint flicker in Hayley's eyes, the smirk that flashed too quickly, gone before anyone else could notice. It was the look of someone enjoying the suffering of another. Dani tried to shake off the unease at first, convincing herself she was being paranoid. After all, Hayley was Bill's girlfriend, why would she hurt him? But the more Dani watched, the clearer it became. Hayley wasn't nurturing Bill, she was controlling him. She cooked all his meals, insisted he only drink what she prepared, and kept everyone else out of the kitchen. Even the house staff weren't allowed to touch his food anymore. That's when the suspicion rooted deeply in Dani's mind. Hayley was doing something to him, and she was hiding it. One stormy evening, Dani decided to find out the truth. The rain poured against the windows, thunder rumbling in the distance as the clock ticked toward midnight. Hayley had gone into the kitchen to prepare Bill's bedtime tea. Dani waited silently by the hallway, her heart pounding. The glow of the kitchen light spilled into the dark corridor, and the sound of Hayley humming floated through the air, soft, almost haunting. Dani inched closer, peeking through the small gap in the door. Her breath caught in her throat. Hayley wasn't just making tea, she was carefully unsealing a small glass vial, its contents a strange yellowish liquid. She looked around cautiously, then poured a few drops into Bill's cup before stirring it slowly, her lips curling into a sinister smile. "Oh my God," Dani whispered to herself, her pulse racing. She pressed a hand over her mouth, trying not to make a sound. Every instinct screamed at her to burst into the room and stop Hayley right then and there. But she needed proof. She needed to be sure, needed to expose Hayley in front of everyone, especially Bill. Dani quietly took out her phone and hit record, zooming in as Hayley sealed the vial and tucked it into her apron pocket. Hayley's voice broke the silence. "Sleep well tonight, my love," she murmured, glancing toward the staircase as if imagining Bill asleep upstairs. "Soon, all of this will be over." Dani's hands trembled as she stopped the recording. There it was, the proof she needed. She backed away quietly, slipping into the shadows before Hayley could notice. Her heart was beating so fast it felt like it would burst out of her chest. That night, Dani barely slept. She couldn't shake the image of Hayley's satisfied grin, the deliberate motion of her hand stirring poison into the cup. She knew she had to act fast, but she also knew confronting Hayley alone could be dangerous. Hayley was unpredictable, beautiful on the outside but venomous at her core. The next morning, Bill looked worse. His skin was ashen, his eyes dull, his energy drained. He could barely lift his spoon. Hayley hovered beside him, fussing over him with false concern. Dani's stomach twisted as she watched Bill drink the tea Hayley brought to the table. She couldn't take it anymore. "Bill, stop!" Dani shouted suddenly, startling everyone. Bill froze mid-sip, confused. Hayley's eyes widened for a split second before narrowing into a glare. "What are you doing, Dani?" Hayley snapped, her tone sharp. "Don't drink that," Dani said firmly, walking toward him. "Hayley, tell him what's in that tea." Hayley laughed nervously. "What are you talking about?" "It's chamomile, the same one I always make." But Dani didn't back down. She snatched the cup from Bill's hand and set it down with force. "No, it's not. I saw you last night, Hayley. I saw you pour something into it from a vial. The room fell into stunned silence. Bill looked between them, confused and weak. Dani, what are you saying? I'm saying she's poisoning you, Bill. Dani's voice trembled, but her conviction was unshakable. She's been doing it slowly, every day. That's why you've been getting worse. Hayley's mask cracked. Her smile faded, and her eyes turned cold as ice. You're insane, she hissed. You've always been jealous of me. You can't stand that Bill loves me more than you. Jealous? Dani scoffed. You think I'd make this up? I have proof. She held up her phone, opening the video she had recorded. The footage played on the screen, clear enough to see Hayley pouring the liquid into the cup, her sinister smile frozen in time. Bill's expression changed instantly, from confusion to horror, then disbelief. He pushed back from the table, trembling. Hayley, what is this? Hayley's face went pale. She reached for the phone, but Dani pulled it back. Don't touch me. Dani warned. For a long moment, no one spoke. The only sound was the rain tapping against the window. Then, something inside Hayley snapped. She lunged forward, her voice rising into a scream. You ruined everything, she shouted, grabbing for the teapot and hurling it toward the floor. It shattered, scalding liquid splashing across the tiles. Bill stumbled to his feet, weak but furious. You were poisoning me? He demanded, his voice shaking. After everything I've done for you? Why? Hayley froze, breathing heavily, her eyes wild. Then, almost calmly, she said, because you were going to leave me. I heard you talking to Dani, saying you were done with me. You were going to walk away, just like everyone else. I couldn't let that happen. Her words cut through the air like a blade. Bill stared at her in disbelief. So you decided to kill me? Hayley laughed bitterly, tears streaming down her face. Not kill you. Just make you weak enough to need me. I thought if you depended on me, you'd never leave. Dani stepped forward cautiously. Hayley, listen to yourself. You've gone too far. You need help. But Hayley wasn't listening. She backed toward the counter, her trembling hand slipping into her pocket, the same pocket where she had hidden the vial. Dani's eyes widened as she realized what Hayley was reaching for. Hayley, don't. Dani shouted. Hayley pulled out the vial, holding it tightly in her fist. You don't understand. He's mine, she screamed. He was supposed to love me forever. Bill took a step back, horrified. Hayley, please, put it down. The tension was unbearable. Every second stretched into eternity. Hayley's eyes darted between them, her expression flickering between rage and despair. Then, with a broken sob, she threw the vial to the ground, shattering it into pieces. The pungent chemical smell